Should we start? Let's begin. Dear Lord, Heavenly Father.
We sit here from our podcast studio. Happy almost New Year, folks out there in Scooch Ovary land. We are going to talk about this past year, do a reassessment of what went good, what could have went better, and our goals for the new year on this episode of
Scooch Ovaries!
Scooch over.
Hey, can you scooch over?
You want me to scooch over?
Just a little bit. Scooch.
Scooch?
Scooch.
Scooch. Scooch Ovaries!
I always dance to nothing.
Well, we know what it is. In our mind, we know it's the doo, 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 Scooch Over.
Scooch Over.
Yeah, scooch.
It's a good song. It's climbing the charts.
Now, with a mug.
We don't want to rush into this now. What went well, Robin?
For my 2024, a lot of good things went well. I don't know if you heard, but I started a podcast with a friend of mine.
What's it called?
It's called Scooch Ovaries.
Oh, that sounds funny.
Yeah, I think we started, June, July, and it's been a lot of fun. Although it seems like it's a weekly thing, for us it's probably like a monthly thing. And not only do we get to have a creative endeavor, we get to hang out and usually make some delicious food, and I really do enjoy that. I'm trying to think of sent my daughter off to college. That was a big change, a good change though. She's done well. My son on his own started going to college, another good change, another good thing. So, I mean, if we want to go into the bad things, my house got destroyed. And there was some really good stuff. How about you? What went good for you in 2024?
I heard it rained and that affected you.
Yeah, there was a drizzle or two. Yeah.
Note to the viewer or listener, Robin hates when I make light of the hurricane, and I try not to do it too often, but it does happen.
No, it's not like you created the hurricane.
No, I wasn't in part of that.
No.
No. I don't have a lot of control over the weather.
And I think if you did, you wouldn't have sent it this way in the Central Florida region.
No, mine would have gone directly to Mar-a-Lago, or however the fuck it's pronounced. Mar-a-Lago?
It's like rural juror.
30 Rock reference. Rural juror.
Rural juror.
Mar-a-Lago. It's not even worth learning how to say it, but, that's where I would have sent it. Yeah. I don't wish anybody harm. Yeah. I just want them all to spin out in the water.
Yeah.
Sorry, fish. You're used to this.
I mean, I feel like the fish can handle it,
Yeah, they're underneath the water.
Well, now they're saying there might be alien life underneath the water. It could definitely handle if it can handle outer space, it can handle underneath the water.
Why would alien life be in the water?
I don't make the news, just report it.
That's fantastic.
What are some positives of your 2024?
Oh, well, let's see. I'll just cut out all this space. No, I won't. I'm leaving it there. I am not dead.
That's good.
I have gotten some news about my health, and I'm dealing with it.
Yeah.
Nobody should worry. I'm fine. It's all reversible shit,
And you're doing a good job reversing it. Taking care of yourself.
Yeah, I'm getting healthy. I'm practicing self-care and every definition you can think of. They didn't need that information, but it made me happy. I am very, very happy in a job that is in the arts, technically, even though I am an accountant. I'm at a theater.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And while we did have some trouble as well with the storms, we had some closings of some shows we couldn't see or build or have happen at the theater because the theater is closed for 3 months. I still get to work at the Van Wezel Performing Arts Hall, the Purple Cow in Sarasota, the crowning jewel of Sarasota on the Bay. It's a beautiful theater. They've had some great shows. You and I got to enjoy Mean Girls. Was that this year or last year?
That was last year. The only time I've ever been there was for Mean Girls.
Oh, was that the only time?
Mm-hmm. And I liked it because I liked it. It was like oceanfront property. It's just so beautiful.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Yeah. You go outside, I'm like, oh, look, it's really pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Can I stay inside?
And Mean Girls was one of the best stage it's not special effects, but stage effects?
production.
Stage production.
Stage production.
So it was just absolutely brilliant. I mean,
Oh yeah.
that and I don't know if you ever saw Disney Frozen
I did not. On stage?
on stage, and I like if you were in a movie, you'd call it special effects or graphics. So I don't know what the word for it is on stage, but it's kind of the same thing. It's like what it looks like and special effects, but they're done live and on stage.
Yeah.
Mean Girls was unbelievable.
I mean, there was literally an elevator on the stage at one point, and like hundreds of screens running around the screens on Mean Girls.
And the way they did the screens, you could literally change the location in like 2 seconds. Like literally just change the location. You didn't have to, like the old timey plays where people run out and change the scenery. I mean, this was all state of the art. It just changed, and you went from being, in the gym to the teacher's room, or the, what's her face, the Mean Girls bedroom. It was just, oh my gosh, it was so great.
It's set. It's
Set
almost
design,
it's
maybe?
almost set choreography almost.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. The mechanics, the technical stuff that they do, it's amazing. That was last year, so that doesn't fit in this year's wrap up.
It does not. It does not.
No,
Yeah.
but my wrap up for this year was, even though I was jokingly pausing, I had a year of seeing a lot of my favorite ladies. I saw Tina and Amy, and then my whole family, we went to Toronto, and I got to see Kate Blanchett.
One of your Kates. You love your Kates.
I do love my Kates.
You
There's
do.
so many Kates.
So many Kates.
Oh, I love them all. I saw Kate Blanchett. It was amazing. She is just as wonderful and smart and vulnerable and real as I thought she would be. And just smart as a whip. Smart.
Smart as a whip, lassie.
Those folks that aren't from here are smart as a whip. And then I saw Hillary Clinton at a book event at the Strass. And what? I know. Look, I'm one of the thousands of women that are still fucking bitter, but we're moving on. And then I saw Amy Grant.
The apple of your eye.
Oh, I love my Amy Grant. She makes me so happy. She was wonderful. Friends of Amy, the fan club, have liked some of my things that I've put up, because I put up, some of the clips, because I took 300 videos and pictures probably.
Oh, I was going to say, I've seen a lot on your Instagram.
She changed outfits too.
Oh, wow.
See how I change when I start to talk about Amy Grant? It's obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just, I give her credit for a lot. She took me to a better place in my heart and in my soul.
Oh.
She helped me not be so negative about myself. She really did. I know that sounds, I don't know, like pablum to a lot of people, but a celebrity can actually change how you view yourself,
Yeah.
And it's the arts.
Yeah.
It's the arts. The arts heal. So that part was fucking awesome. Toronto with my family, amazing.
Great time.
Film festival. I
Yeah.
love that shit. We started Scooch Ovaries. How much fun is that?
So much fun.
Oh my God, it's so great. And it's just been, challenging politically and health-wise for me, but I'm turning it around with the health-wise part. And it was a really good year for my job.
It was a good year for you.
I like my boss. It's working out well. I'm in the theater. It's the arts. It's great. Now, just to say, these are not the only things that matter that I'm saying right here, because there are lots of other things that we could look at as far as goals. We could look at how we feel psychologically, spirit-wise, intellectually, physically. What are goals that you have for 2025 without putting pressure on yourself and having to pick any of those categories? Let's just do this. It could be any category at all in your life today. Why don't you take a minute and try to think of 3 goals that you want for 2025 that are SMART goals. They're measurable, they're attainable, they're timely. They're things you could actually plan for and make happen. 3 goals that you have for next year that can be physical, spiritual, intellectual, financial, location. It could be comedy, writing. I think we both have writing goals, which I'm just gonna. That's a sneak peek.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Let's start there.
I need to get better in a morning routine, and my morning routine really needs to start being writing, even if I'm just not writing anything great, just writing for the sake of writing, because that's, I think a fresh mind is when it comes out. And I get too in my head. I need to have a goal of not picking up my phone until an hour, like after I get up, because I need to write and then walk. And I'll just make those my 2 goals for now, and then come back to a third one.
Yeah.
But I would like to just have a goal of not picking up my phone, writing and walking, and then picking up my phone and doing whatever I have to do.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that because, well, you have always worked hard to not be addicted to your phone, and you are pretty measured. You are a mom,
Yeah.
and being a mom gives you a different situation with your phone, because your phone is how you're going to find out if everything's okay, and your phone is tied to your watch on your wrist, and every time something happens, you get a message. Now, you don't know if that's going to be your son or your daughter, or one of your neighbors, or one of your high school friends, or someone trying to buy your house. Or, hey, how's that warranty going? Because it could be an email or a text or a phone call. And
Well, and this is part of my OCD, and maybe it's just justifying. I will sometimes, the very first thing I'll do is just look at my bank account. And then I think that's
do
a
that.
slippery slope, because I just want to make sure nothing weird came in, and the couple times I've caught fraud like that, it's because I looked at my bank account.
that's a good morning thing to do.
Yeah, one time I looked at my bank account and like $500 from Walmart was taken out. I was like, what? And I immediately called. I immediately shut that down. They immediately put it out.
And then you go outside and there's a 20-foot teddy bear on your lawn. I'm like, oh, that's right.
Dang it. I got wasted and I ordered that. You know what? 99% of the time it's fine. You have the same amount of money, but then you've got like that dopamine hit. So I'm like, what if I try just to stay away from my phone and write for like, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, walk for like 45 minutes, and then start your day.
I love all of those words and that you just said. You're one of the most grown-up people I know when it comes to money. You are.
Thank you.
Goofball. And I'm going to advise you to do what I don't do enough, but when I do it, it works. When you write, stream of consciousness. Don't try to even correct the grammar or the spelling.
Oh, okay.
Just let it get down
Okay.
on the paper, with a pen, or in the computer. Do not try to fix it. Do
Try
not
to
try
edit
to make
it.
it sound like something else. Slap that shit down. You can edit that for the rest of the day if you want to.
Yeah. I like the pen to paper. I mean, I know a lot of people will write with their notepad, and there's nothing wrong with that, or get online, but I just like good old fashioned pen to paper.
Yeah. I miss Word. I get on a Google Doc immediately and just start typing.
Yeah.
And that's when it's like, oh, hello, Muse. When did you arrive? I've been here the whole time. Oh, my God. You weren't. And then it's like, and you do something, and then you're like, oh. And it happened to me on Saturday.
Yeah, you wrote a really good short story. You shared it with me, which I appreciate,
you.
and I thought was phenomenal.
And thank you very, very much. But that was because I said, sit down, do it right now. Do it right
Yeah.
now. Don't wait. And I didn't try to edit it. I slapped it down and said, I'm not happy with that. I'm glad. Wait, what if it? Oh, remember this part? And it. Oh,
Yeah.
this should go before this. And let's make this. And you know what? My biggest challenge is with writing, I'm going to get in the woods a little bit, in the
What's that?
weeds a little bit. When I did a short story about 14, 15 pages long a few years back and had everybody read it, and had a lot of really good people who know about editing edit it for me, like people who are in high level shit. Some of my friends at the time, and still my friends, they know about writing,
Yeah.
and they did copy editor shit for me for free.
Oh, that's
And
awesome.
The thing that gets me every time, it's going to sound obvious, but using ing too much and tense. Like, I was going, I went. What are you doing?
I do that too.
You know, I'm going.
Yeah.
Like, I am, and I use the word just and so too much in writing, because I use them a lot in my speech. I don't say like as much as I used to, but I've just replaced it with other words. Like, I don't say I'm sorry all the time anymore, but I say thank you. I'm just replacing my verbal viruses and my written verbal viruses. But the tense is very important, and overusing ing words. And that was like, oh, that's a good thing to do. So I did that for myself with this short story, and I think it made a difference.
Yeah.
It changed. It was all present. It was all current.
All current.
All
Yeah.
present tense.
I think I do that too. Sometimes I'll I'll start out in the present tense and I'll go in the past tense, and it's like, no, pick a lane. You can't have both.
You don't see it when you're writing it though.
Yeah,
You got to go back to it.
got to go back and see it.
And you and I both have goals of being writers, and you would think that we'd spend our whole days writing, and it's like, yeah, once a year I'll put a pen to paper, and like I'm typing though, because I'm typing. So here's a funny story you'll enjoy. I had a HP computer, a little mini computer that I used for editing video and doing some writing on that I had for a long time. But a couple years ago, I bought a little Mac Airbook. Is that what? Oh, I don't want to say it wrong.
Oh,
MacBook
pretty.
Air. I don't
MacBook
know
Air.
why I can't get shit straight. I mean, I know why, because I'm a lesbian. But what? Boom. So I pulled it out. That sounded dirty. I pulled it out and I plugged it in and immediately knew, well, the battery doesn't work because it only works when it's plugged in.
Oh.
So the battery died and I didn't know what to do about that. And then I tried to do some stuff on it and it was like on Windows, I'm going to say 9. I don't know. And we're like on almost 12.
Yeah,
We're at the end of 11 right now.
I think we are at the end of 11.
Which I didn't realize. So then it went to 10 and I tried to go to 11. It's like, well, we got 30 gigabytes and that's not enough room. I'm like, why not? It's 30 gigabytes, but they were all tied up with all the programs. And then every time I tried to clear it out, the upgrades and the downloads that were necessary to make the upgrade happen were too much for the memory. So then I put a little thumb drive in there.
Okay.
And that didn't do a goddamn thing. It's like, we don't know what that is. What do you ow.
It's 2024.
Ow.
What are you doing?
We can't use that. That hurts. It wasn't a disc, but it might as well have been. Anyway, it's a coaster. It's sitting over there.
It's a ghost.
It's a coaster, and as they say, a brick. So I'm waiting for the e-trash day so I can take it down
Oh, yeah.
to the landfill. So disappointing though, because I thought that's gonna be my writing computer.
I'm going to use that for my writing.
This is my video and editing computer.
Well, that's because it's fancy town.
It is. And my goals are to, did I do my goals yet? I feel like I did.
No, I don't think you did. We talked about writing,
All that jabbering.
which piggyback off of the writing goals.
The writing and the walking goals, I'm super copying you because they really are goals of mine. I want to walk more and I want to write more.
Yeah.
And my walking isn't going to be probably going on a treadmill at the gym. It's going to be walking outside because apparently fresh air and vitamin D are good.
Yeah, I enjoy just walking outside more. I mean, that's just me though. But I think moving your body's good. But if you could do outside versus inside, it's more enjoyable for me.
My other goal is 3 days at the gym
Okay,
for
that's a
weight
good
training,
goal. Okay.
strength training.
Yeah.
And I'd like to lose weight. I'm not going to say a number because that comes back and bites me every time. So I'd like to get healthy. I would like to stop being obese, though. That might be fun. We laugh, but I'm very far away from just overweight. I'm obese down, and then there's overweight, and then there's just, okay, we'll let you in. You know, like this, like the seats will be more comfortable on the plane. I don't know. I know I went to see Amy Grant at the Capitol Theater and I sat down and I was like, no. Was this made in 1800, this theater?
Oh, were the seats tiny?
Well, for me, it felt tiny, but they were probably normal size. And then I realized how lucky I was that day because there were 2 seats to my left and 2 seats to my right and nobody came.
Oh.
And they stayed empty. And I was able to stand up and sit down and put my leg over here like an old lady and bend my knee and just be comfortable.
Yeah.
And it was magical. I loved it. And the lady behind me was like, it's so hot in here. I'm like, I'm in a room full of menopausal old ladies freaking out. And that man does not look like he's having fun over there. He's the only one. Yeah, it was an amazing night. But the goals for me for 2025, walk more, write more, go to the gym 3 times a week. And I know that's 3 goals. But the walking and the strength training,
Sounded like you just took off walking.
oops. The walking and the gym are really a combined goal of one. The third one is the goal that I have for the rest of my life, which I'm going to try to do, I don't know, 1 or 2 things a day if I can remember. And that is become my most authentic self.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Now it kind of sounds heavy, but it's not. It's just peeling off a layer of bullshit once a day. I'm like, well, I didn't really mean that when I said that, or, well, that's phony. And, well, that's not how I feel.
Yeah.
Or, I don't really like that. No, I'm not doing that. Becoming your most authentic self does not mean becoming your most selfish self. It means becoming the person who can begin to fulfill your own needs and being authentic. I don't have to explain to all of you guys because you guys get it. Well, I'm still learning what it means, and one of the ways to get there are my my fourth and fifth goal, if you will, which I've promised people I will do. And they are not the 2025 goals. They are 2024 goals, and that is see a nutritionist and see a therapist.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's really good.
And I've been my most authentic self, so goal achieved.
Goal
Cha-ching.
achieved.
Move up to
I
the
don't
next
ever
level.
have to change.
No, I'm all done. I know that was a lot, but becoming your most authentic self, that's an easy goal. She can
Just
do that.
check that one off.
She'll get there by Wednesday. I'm not worried.
I just thought of a goal while you're talking because I only did two.
Yeah, come
Once
on.
I get and I know we probably repeat ourselves a little bit, but once I get my house back, I want to get a goal where, like, I don't know, like maybe every Saturday, I take like 2 hours and just like deep clean, so I don't get like a sloppy house again. So once I get there, just take 2 hours and just just do the floors and the bathrooms and just deep clean. And one of these days, maybe I'll even hire like someone to come in and clean it for me. But I'm not made of money, people. Come on. I need sponsorships.
Yeah, that's valiant. Maybe don't put a lot of pressure on yourself and call it deep cleaning. Just say, cleaning.
Or I heard one time, and this has helped me like make my bed and stuff in the morning and kind of tidy the bathroom, is reset. Because if you don't say cleaning, there's not like guilt with cleaning.
Mm-hmm.
If it's just like, oh gosh, you know what? Everything's a little sloppy. Let's just reset. So tomorrow morning, when you come into the bathroom, everything's okay. And, especially making your bed, like, let's just reset. So you're ready to go. When you're tired, you just lay down.
I like reset.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. When you did go to an office and you know you were going to be there on a Friday and you were leaving for the weekend and you come back on a Monday, did you set up your desk on Friday to be ready for Monday morning?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I don't do that.
Oh, I used to. Oh my gosh, when I was in T-Mobile, I'm surprised I even had a job because I was so sloppy. No, then they get mad and they're like, "Why do you have like 7 water bottles everywhere?" Or more like 27 water bottles. I'm like, I don't know. Like, what if I get thirsty and then I have to like just fill them up?
I'm not going to put them in the ocean. I care about the fish.
Yeah.
They got to stay clear of the aliens down there.
No, this is back when I was a trainer. I had like a big desk that I shared, and I shared with this guy named Luis, and he was so handsome and just pretty man, and he was just neat as a pin, and he would like clean off his desk, and it would just be spotless, and then like over here it would just look like someone just threw like a grenade. I'd always be like, Luis and Robin, how do you get along? He's like, oh, I do not mind. This is my space. So it was fun.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's where the expression "who did it and ran" came from. Like your desk is like a grenade. See ya.
Yeah.
Your work habits are not who you are, though. It's just you didn't like your job. You were unhappy in that job.
Yeah.
You're not gonna care about your workspace in that job. I just find that the term minimalism works for everything. It's crazy,
Yeah.
isn't it?
It kind of does.
It's
Yeah.
nutty balls.
Yeah.
That's Swedish death cleaning shit.
Yeah.
If you don't have the stuff, you don't have to keep it clean. You don't have to dust a bunch of stuff if you don't have a bunch of stuff.
You don't.
You just got to vacuum.
Just got to vacuum
Check
it.
the corners once in a while for spiders.
A little bit of a Swiffer, and there you go. Do we have any goals as a podcast that we would like to have?
Ooh.
I just thought of that just right on the fly.
I would like us to hit 10 listeners.
I would like us one of these days to not only have a guest on the podcast, but be a guest on a podcast. Do a little cross ventilation.
Oh, you're doing good ones. Okay. Yeah, do that. Let's do that. That's a goal. Have a guest and be a guest.
Yeah, and I thought you had a little. You've got some connections. You've got some people.
I know
that-
people. Have
know
you heard of
people.
the podcast Shut Your Five Hole?
Shut your 5 hole.
And listen, I forgot there's more to the name. Shut Your Five Hole and listen. Muffy at work.
Okay.
My buddy at work. Her and her friend, they do a hockey podcast. We're going to get Muffy on here, and we're going to go on that one, maybe,
Okay.
if they're open to that. But I think they do it remotely, so it might be even easier.
Oh.
But we could definitely have Muffy on here. That's easy.
Yeah.
It's going to be a Zoom situation.
Okay. I've got a computer.
Yeah, and you and I did an episode of Zoom
Yeah.
once, and we could do it. And as far as Catherine Maloney, it's getting her when she's not booked. She's filming specials and doing all kinds of shows all over the place.
Yeah. She would be a great a podcast edition.
She would. Mary Lysett, too.
Yeah. Maybe we could do a very special episode of our podcast.
Aren't they all a very special episode of Blossom for some reason?
Yeah, and then we can think of a good life lesson that has a moral story at the end.
I love it. Do you have any goals for your stand-up for the coming year?
Oh gosh, I feel like with my house flooding, I kind of let that go to the wayside. Yeah, I need a part of my. Yeah, I need to get on stage a little bit more, and then I wanna kind of branch out. I want to maybe get to doing a little bit more storytelling, and I don't know, maybe like a hybrid of storytelling and stand up, maybe like a one woman show type thing. There's a lot of weird spaces in like Florida, especially like Fringe and stuff, that you can get into that. So I'd like to kind of expand my horizons a little bit as a performer.
I love that idea. Do you remember when we did a show at the Olympia Theater in Palmetto?
Yeah, that was really fun.
Yeah, that closed. But that's the kind of space I would love to play in if you're going to do a one-woman show. I think that would be a great place
Yeah.
to do it. And we would like eventually, if this were to grow,
Yeah.
when it grows,
Yeah.
not if, when it grows,
When it grows.
we would like to perform
Oh my gosh.
live, which is not unlike what Tina and Amy did,
was
only
just
with
thinking that.
less famous.
Yeah.
The same thing with less famous.
But I think a lot of podcasts do that. They will go live, and it's almost more like a panel and maybe like a mishmash of, we could definitely if people demanded it, we could put on just a silly as all get out show.
I think so.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous what we do.
it's redonkulous. So
Well, we hope that you guys have some goals that you're going to reach for next year, and that maybe you'll let us know what they are.
Yeah.
And check on us and keep us accountable and see if we do things to move towards our goals. Because normally I do like a hard reverse when I set goals for my life. I'm like, oh no, that's not something I'm going to do.
hard reverse.
Hard reverse, which is something my
Silly.
Hyundai couldn't do. And that's why we had to sell it 10 years ago. Years ago when I was married, we had a Hyundai that lasted for 10 years and then it just stopped going backwards. It said, nope, not doing it.
Oh,
Couldn't go backwards, so couldn't do a hard reverse. Robin, as we come to the end of our last episode for 2024, which is episode 23, do
Yeah.
you have any segments that didn't make it as segments to
Oh.
share with the folk?
I do. Okay, now these are two segments that didn't make it as segments because they both require spelling, which is hilarious when it's an audio podcast. So my first segment that didn't make it as a segment is, if New Year was a spice, would it be called Father Time? THYME. Ooh. I'm becoming like a 48-year-old man. It's all puns.
You went younger?
Yeah,
You're a younger man.
I'm a younger man. All puns.
I think these are dad. Are they
These
dad
are
jokes?
Yeah, these
It's
are
a
dad
pun
jokes.
a dad joke?
Yeah,
right.
pun's kind of a dad joke.
I love that. That's not bad though. I like the time. It's funny.
Father Time, THYME.
Segments that didn't make it as segments.
Yeah.
You could also call them jokes that aren't funny. We're not trying. Should I have been so vulnerable? Or no, am I hitting my goal of being my most authentic self right now? I think so. Way to go, Mia. I got one. Which award show is best?
Oh, dang it. It didn't make a segment. We can't. Okay.
Next.
Okay. Mine is also another spelling segment. If you're a dull person, do you make a vision board? BORED. Dumb.
Spelling.
Spelling.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, you are a wordsmith.
Yeah. And I'm so glad that we're doing a podcast where I could really show off these words. Actually, I might make that a Facebook post to see how many likes I get.
I have one last one.
Okay. And what's
for the
your one
year.
last
Are you
one?
ready?
Mhm.
Okay. Is it me, or do the terms thumb drive and flash stick sound dirty?
So dirty. And I never even
dirty.
thought about it. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And fire stick. I'm like, ooh, careful when you put that. What? I did want to share one more thing, which has now completely left my brain, but wait, it'll come back. Everybody hold on. I'll be right with you. No, it's not. Oh, I remember. When we do start writing,
Okay.
Robin, you have suggested, since I've met you, that we do a storytelling situation into these mics.
Yes.
We've been saying that because you are a storyteller as well as a comedian.
I try to be.
And you're a great one. You're very funny. And so am I. So
Absolutely.
and humble as fuck. So I think it would be fun when we do start writing, if we have stuff that we want to share with the folk, maybe it would be fun to have special episodes that would be bonus episodes of us reading some of our pieces.
Yeah, we could call it Scooch Ovaries Does Readers Theater.
I love that. But that sounds like Debbie Does Dallas. Can we use a different verb?
And it's going to get real hot up here in the Readers Theater. Now
What's she doing with that thumb drive?
Hey, girl, where's that flash stick going, huh?
That's fantastic. And once again, we've gone way over our time because time is impossible now.
This is going to be our short one.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't work.
No.
It doesn't work. Robin, thank you for everything.
Thank you
this
for
year.
everything. You do the behind the scenes hard stuff. I just come up and just say buffoonery.
It's dirty. It's behind the scenes. It's hard stuff. Buffoonery.
Buffoonery, I tells you.
Oh my god, that sounds like a place where they make the buffoon.
They
Where
do.
did you get that? I got it at the buffoonery.
I got the buffoonery. It is awesome.
2024 was a lot of fun, comedy-wise, for you and me,
Yep.
making this podcast happen. I've loved every second of it.
Me too.
I hope that we have 26 times 2 episodes next year. I did the math wrong. How many weeks in a year?
How many weeks in a year?
We're going to have 52 episodes next year and some bonus ones.
And
where
some
we,
bonus ones.
You know, Scooch Ovaries does Readers Theaters. Scooch Ovaries does reading theater?
Readers Theater presented by Scooch Ovaries.
That's much better.
That's much better.
It is, because the other one's like brown chicken, brown cow. I don't know what that. Hey, you guys, we got shit to do. We got to go.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to the latest episode
Of Scooch Ovaries!
Scooch over.
Hey, can you scooch over?
You want me to scooch over?
Just a little bit. Scooch.
Scooch?
Scooch.
Scooch. Scooch Ovaries!